Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading from the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of March. I hope you're well. I'm using the Crow Tarot for you today. Here it is. If the reading resonates with you, there will be an extended that you can access at the end. That's in the description box below. But obviously, if you're a patron, you get access to that for free. So, not for free, for no extra cost. There's a difference. Right. Better do that now, I think. See what's going on with you, Aquarius. Can I have 3 cards for Aquarius? Right, we start off with the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords together. What about current energy for Aquarius? We have the Page of Pentacles. And what's coming towards Aquarius, please, for March? We have the King of Wands. This is very interesting because right from the off, it seems like you're looking for a change of something, right? And this could be, well, actually, it could be all sorts of things. We could see you picking up a new skill. We could see you changing your life in an altogether more dramatic way, perhaps relocating. But there's a sense of, wow, you've got King of Pentacles and the King of Cups underneath there. That's 3 kings. It's very action oriented. Let me pull some clarifiers out and I'll tell you what I'm feeling here. What's going on? Let's do this one. Tell me about this Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords, please. We have the Death card. We have the Sun card, super, Scorpio and Leo respectively. And we also have the 6 of Wands, also a Leo card, interestingly enough. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles, please. We've got the Devil card. Ooh. And the 7 of Cups, rather, in reverse. My one dropped out. Tell me about the King of Wands. We've got the Emperor and we've got the 9 of Pentacles. This is a really strident set of energies here, Aquarius. There's no fucking about here. In your recent past, you've got the Knight of Swords and you've got the Queen of Swords. And as soon as those came out, you know, I felt this furious mental energy that you've been experiencing. It's in your recent past, right? This is a progression. We have the idea arriving in your head and then we have some contemplation of it. Now, what the idea is, it may not be fully formed. Actually, it's just a sense that things need to change and they need to change sooner rather than later. It's almost like, for some of you, it could feel like pressure has built where you are, right? And where you are, it could be a physical situation or it could be a mental situation, it could be an emotional situation, right? It could be within a relationship, it could be at your work, at your job, it could be just the way that you live your life altogether. Maybe you've been doing a 9 to 5 solidly for the last 10 years and actually you've realised this isn't you, it's not what you're about anymore. Actually you're about to, you know, sell up and move to Mexico or something like that, right? We can see this in all sorts of ways, the dramatic and the subtle, but I feel like it's leaning towards the dramatic because what we've got here is an idea that has taken root and won't let you go. It's been ragging you like a dog with a bone. And this furious mental energy that I'm picking up on here is just the consideration of everything from every conceivable aspect that it's possible for you to think about this. Like it just won't leave you alone. And any kind of complacency or comfort that you might have felt in the environment that you're in, right? However this reading resonates with you, it's now eluding you. Like things must change, things have to change. It cannot continue like this anymore, right? The reason that I'm feeling like that is because of these 2 major arcana cards here, right? The Death card, the Scorpio card, is all about transformation. It's about things ending, yes, but it is also about new things beginning. I feel like it's kind of one and the same depending on what angle you look at it, you know, what point in time you look at it. It's either an ending or a beginning. But what it talks about more than anything else is transformation and change, right? And the need for it to happen. Almost like in some ways, there's a feeling here of you needing to get out in front of it for some reason. Like the action needs to happen by you because it has the potential to happen by other means, and for whatever reason that's not something that you're comfortable with. Like, I applaud it, absolutely. But we've got the sun coming up here. This is a card of happiness, absolute unalloyed joy, right? It's a feeling of, you know, the sun on your skin, actually. And so, you know, some of you, emigration may be something that you're considering, or at least, you know, transplantation from one part of the country to another. But it's a card of vulnerability and hope and pleasure, happiness, all of these things that now seem to be driving you in a way that they didn't before. Like I said, that it seems like you've lost the yoke or the cloak, whichever way you want to look at it, of complacency. And now you have to affect the change because your happiness is important here. Maybe the happiness of your children, actually. We can also see that indicated here. And we've got the Six of Wands, right? Victory lies where the happiness is, whether it's your happiness or whether it's the happiness of your family, your children, you know, younger people than you that depend on you, whichever way it occurs for you. Standing still at this point feels like death. It feels like giving up hope. It feels like giving up any kind of claim on happiness to stay where you are. And so that is not going to happen. In your current energy, we have the Page of Pentacles, and this is a very practical application of what has been a furious mental energy up until this point, right? When there is something completely new, like completely new, we usually see that indicated by the Fool or by the Ace. When we've got you kind of going off in a different direction, veering off the plan, possibly, then we see a Page. And it's here with the Devil, Capricorn energy, and the Seven of Cups in reverse. Now, this is quite an interesting pairing because it means something very different to what it would mean if it was like this, right? So the Devil is feeling trapped, all the ways in which we feel trapped, whether that is physically in you know, our environment, or whether it's within a relationship, or sometimes it's even the way that we feel trapped in our own mind, you know? But you feel like you're very expansive in the way that your mind is working at the moment. So we have that here. And then we have a card that talks about confusion, specifically emotional confusion. Sometimes when we're presented with far too many options and, you know, we get analysis paralysis, like which one is the right answer? There are too many things to choose from here. But it's come up in the reverse. And so this is a clarity coming in here. And what I feel for you, Aquarius, is that you are starting to see where the blocks are. You're starting to see where are the impediments to you getting to whatever it is that you are trying to go for now at this point. You know, there is no confusion about any of this, and actually what there is a plan of sorts, a path of sorts that is opening up in front of you, in so much as now you can see the obstacles and the impediments. It's possible for you to work out a way to go around them, right? What deck do I want here? Oh, let's pull out the John Bower. Do like a bit of John Bower. Fuck. Come here. Right. Tell me about this. Seven of Cups. Yeah. Fucking hell. We've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Hermit, and we've got the Sun again. And what I do feel is that I feel like you're ready to move heaven and earth to get what you want here, Aquarius, actually. It's very strong. It's almost like an acceptance of what you have to do. You know, I keep saying how it feels very, very strong. Like it feels internally strong as a positioning. It's just like, right, I'm going to have to make some hard decisions, but I am okay with doing that. You know, the end almost justifies the means, actually, like in the nicest possible way. Like, and where it... Sometimes the energy of the Devil can be, well, quite often actually, it can be quite deceptive. It can It can indicate that the ways in which we are feeling stuck and trapped actually don't really exist. And I would maintain that that's true for just about everything, right? There's always a way around something. And looking at the obstacles has kind of made you realize that you're not nearly as stuck as you think you were, or you thought you were. Now, there are always consequences, but I feel like those consequences are something that is better than staying stagnant and still and trapped and where you are. And now it's about the practical the practical process of what things you need to do, what things you need to put in place in order to expedite this movement that you are trying to take. Because everything is about action here with you. You've got 3 kings on the table, plus the Emperor card, plus the Death card. This is not an insignificant energy. What is missing from the kings, though, interestingly enough, is the King of Swords, which is you, Aquarius. And so I'm kind of back to this idea that it's not just you that you're trying to do this for. It actually feels like it's somebody else, or somebody's else, you know, your family, your friends, maybe his work colleagues, something like that. There's a lot of energy going into creating movement. And yet, as things stand at the moment, you are kind of absent from it. So maybe you're doing all of this stuff by yourself. But certainly it seems like it's other people that you're thinking of, maybe your kids that you're thinking of, with that Sun card appearing here twice. And we've got the 5, not the 5, we've got the Hierophant. It is numbered 5 at the bottom of the deck here. What the fuck? This is another one of those spiders that just dropped from the ceiling, despite the fact that there are no obvious spiders. Anyway, we've got the Hierophant, we've got the 2 of Cups, and we've got the Death card here. There's a change of state going on, and there's a change of state of relationships. Now, there are 2 ways of looking at this, and the first is that there is a union coming together. You know, actually, sometimes the Hierophant talks about marriage, the social institution of marriage, and we have the 2 of Cups sitting behind that. So it could be that you are looking to escalate a relationship in some way, so become more committed to it. And that doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. That could be a business partnership too. Anywhere where you've got people coming together with shared alignment, you know. There are lots of different ways that it could play out. And the transformation that comes of that relationship as a result. The other way of looking at it is that the Death card becomes a negative modifier in so much as then it is not this. In fact, what we've got is a breaking down of that. So what has been established, what has, you know, got a foundation and what has stood for a long time, presumably a relationship of sorts, of any sort, is coming to an end, not this. You see what I mean? You've got to take it as it resonates to you, because it will be different for each of you because of the way that it's been demonstrated there. But there's definitely a change of state, and it feels like it needs to happen sooner rather than later. The good news is that you seem to have everything that you need to make it happen, because we've got all of this fiery energy of the King of Wands and the Emperor underneath it, card of Aries there. But the Emperor is the King of Kings. He contains all of the attributes, good and bad, of all of the kings, right? He sits kind of above them. It's the divine masculine is given to be, right? Now that means that you are present here, because you're inherent within the Emperor, right here. Just not that obvious at this point. But the King of Wands is about taking action. So whatever it is that you are trying to bring about, March for you is going to be the point where this happens. And it's notice that it's happened this way around. And the Emperor is given to talk about planning and strategy and having having a war plan, you know, in place. And then the kings are the ones who will be presumably, you know, doing, I don't know, like, I'm not military. But the kings will be dealing with all the different divisions. So whatever the Emperor decides, then the kings action out, I would assume. I'm just going off like, you know, Dune and Game of Thrones and stuff like that, right? But it's happening here. If it were this way around, it would be slightly different, because there would be a drive to get things going, but ultimately it would still be very much in the planning stage, in the strategy stage. But this is actually getting out there and doing what you have planned to do, following the plan that you have created. Now, it's interesting that we've got the Nine of Pentacles as the other card that clarifies here, because this is a card of self-sufficiency, of independence, of doing things for yourself. It's also a card of good resource management. So it could be that you are separating yourself away from an established relationship that has stood for a very long time, whether it's a business partnership or, you know, a marriage, even, dare I say it, something to do with your family generally, right? And then coming to this point of standing alone, because the Nine of Pentacles always does stand alone. Or it could be bringing your resources to bear to the situation that you're trying to change, the way that you are escalating or improving or solidifying the relationship that you are currently committed to. But regardless of which way it resonates with you, which way it plays out, March is a really, really strong month for getting things done, right? So whatever your plan is, this is where it executes, because the Nine of Pentacles, like I said, is about good resource management. So you have got not just the plan, but you've got the resources to meet the plan, which equals action. King of Wands right there. Let's see if the John Bauer's got anything else to say about this, because this is it's very strong energy, and I feel like it would be useful to know what Mars is doing on your sign during the point of March where all of this is happening, because this is very strong Mars energy. Got the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Empress card at the bottom of the deck there, the archetypal mother, and also the counterpart to the king, not to the king, to the emperor, which shows that there's a good balance of masculine and feminine energy here. Don't get hung up on the gender. It doesn't matter in tarot. We have both masculine and feminine energies within us, and balancing those is, there we go, the ideal. That's what we're all aiming for here. So you've got that. You've got a plan, and you've got the ability to be able to birth it, right, this month. It's all about bringing this into the world. But look at this. Do you remember how I said the difference between the pages and the aces for me? Right? The page now feels to me like it's the adjustments, the little tweakings that you are needing to make as the obstacles are becoming more clear. But March is the point where it actually happens. Like, no doubt at all in my mind here. Ace of Pentacles and Six of Wands. This is you executing your plan beautifully, Aquarius, whatever it may be. Right. I'm going to go over to Mimeo now. I'm very, very interested. My feline curiosity is engaged fully, and we're going to go and have a look and see what this is all about. If you would like to join me over there, link is in the description box. If not, not a problem. I'll actually be back, I think, before the end of the week for the mid-month readings. But this all looks good. Take heart, Aquarius. Everything that you've been doing sees its culmination, I think, or its inception, if you will, in March. And this is cool. I like this for you. So know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.